Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, December 16th. I'm Jimmy Prince with the details. Farmers need to take individual steps to bring back the agriculture industry to where it once was. That's according to Chair of the Fair Trade Organization, Denniston Samuel. He was speaking at the 14th General Assembly of Fair Trade Banana Producers held earlier today under the theme, Striving to Survive. Samuel says farmers need to follow the criteria set out so that they can produce quality crops for the market.
Already accept all criteria and carry out those things. Ladies and gentlemen, no other sector, as stated and stated boldly and brave, no other sector have been so battered like our agriculture sector, our banana industry. Time and time again, we as farmers take up whatsoever is needed to cultivate such a precious fruit. I say precious because all of us know what it can bring to this country, what it can bring to us, and what it used to do for us.
According to Samuel, the agriculture sector has been battered by many challenges, and it is a wonder how the farmers survived.
Because all of this battering, all of this loss, we bear it on our own. On our own. This is a sector that has been looked at. Sometimes when people fail to look at it, who want to be hurt out, I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. It's not until this same Fair Trade and WINFA collaborate with all the other stakeholders, with a young minister, vibrant, I must say, who sees the need to take our grievances to cabinet and do what he should do. Now we have a facility in place, we call the FSC, that assists farmers. And assisting the farmers, we can see what it has done, and it opened our eyes, it opened back our minds, it stimulates us to see things that should be in place for proper productivity, for proper use of our land, and for benefits to ourselves and our country and the Caribbean as a whole.
Meanwhile, coordinator of the Windward Islands Farmers Association, WINFA, Kozel Peters, says they are confident that the Fair Trade Organization is going to survive with the continued support of the government, farmers, and all stakeholders.
The past 4 years, I believe we have triumphed over many difficulties, even as the chairman of the National Fair Trade Organization has expressed. We have really struggled, but we have overcome. Even the black sigatoka, I think we're at a better stage now in terms of understanding the disease and even managing it, even the financial constraints that we had and the level of confidence that the farmers have. I think we really could say that we have overcome because of where we are today. Today, more than ever, even as we strive to survive, we must continue to look towards the future with a greater renewed spirit and attitude.
Minister of Agriculture, Subota Caesar, says it is important that the members of Fair Trade Organization work together to overcome the challenges they are currently facing. Caesar said it is only when farmers work together they can survive the continuous storms which they face. He says for the last 3 years, the industry has taken a battering, and he calls for a level of maturity going forward.
And that maturity came from us as farmers, the Fair Trade Organization, because whilst we are 14 years old, we are part of a 50-year-old industry. And I want to single out the chairman of the Fair Trade Organization, and I want you to applaud him for holding the reins and carrying the organization through many of the disasters that we have already come through. It's easy to fly a plane as a pilot when the weather is perfect, but it takes a skilled pilot to go through the thunderstorms.
Caesar further added that the Ministry of Agriculture has to step up its game in 2015 for the survival of this vital industry.
We have worked very hard in 2014, but we have to step up our game. Because many of the vagaries and the problems that we face with on a day-to-day basis in the banana industry, it takes one man to drop the ball in what he's doing. It is so fragile. And if one man fails to do his work, it fulfills the reality that the chain is as strong as its weakest link.
The 2015 estimates of income and expenditure will be presented in Parliament tomorrow by Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Al Gonzalez. The estimates are said to be in the region of 969 million EC dollars. 3 bills are also down on the order paper to receive their first readings at tomorrow's session. They are the Appropriation Bill 2015, the Julian Small Pension Amendment Bill, and the Shipping Amendment Bill. 19 questions have also been listed for oral answers. Tomorrow's session of Parliament is expected to begin at 9. Well, Vincentians began paying less for gasoline at the pumps from yesterday. It is the third reduction over the last 3 months. Gasoline has moved from $14.42 to $13.81 per gallon, a reduction of 61 cents. In October, motorists saw a reduction of 40 cents per gallon, and in November, 46 cents, bringing the total reduction over the three-month period to $1.47. The reductions are in keeping with the government's policy of using a 3-month moving average for the price of fuel and reflects the downward movement in the price of oil on the international market. Vinlec, the state-owned electricity company, has also announced a drop in its fuel surcharge for the month of December. The 40.65 cents per unit is the lowest since March 2011. There is said to be a decrease in littering in Kingstown following the placement of over 30 bins by the Central Water and Sewage Authority in collaboration with All Islands Recycling Incorporated. However, manager of the Solid Waste Management Unit, Winsbot Kwao, says more needs to be done to stamp out littering completely. Kwao told SVG-TV News they have seen a number of persons using the bins, which is commendable, but there are others who still continue to throw litter out of vehicles.
And most of them are almost full. In some areas you have heavy use, and others those that are in the central business district along Halifax Street. We will see those being completely filled, and we have a set outside of the Peace Memorial Hall where people congregate to catch their buses, so we'll see those filled as well. So they are being used by the frequency of how we have to empty them, when we empty them, and the capacity that we see being utilized within the bins. But we still have few areas where folks will still litter, even though there are bins available.
He says that they are now having the problem of persons dislodging the bin to remove bottles for recycling.
Because of the value that is attached to plastic bottles now, but you can sell plastic bottles to Air Inc. Some persons are going into the bins to retrieve the plastic bottles, but they are not properly covering back the bins. They will take the covers off, take out the plastic bottles, and then leave the covers on the ground. Or they will dislodge the bins altogether because they're bolted down to the ground. They will knock them over. And while we're sort of conflicted with this, we don't mind persons making a living, and in fact it helps in that those items don't go to the landfill, but we want them to take some more care in the way they use the units, to replace the covers, to make sure that they don't dislodge them from their mounts.
Communications Officer at Vinlec, Tamara Job-Sprott, is advising persons to exercise caution as they engage in lighting up activities. In an interview with SVG-TV News, Job-Sprott pointed out that while persons aspire to have the best lit house in the community, they must, however, ensure that they use lights appropriate for outdoor activities. She said that people should also be responsible enough to ensure that excessive energy isn't being utilized during this time.
We want to encourage persons, first of all, in the communities to ensure that when you're doing your wiring and so on, the things are labeled for outdoor use as opposed to indoor use. So there are special wires and special appliances that are to be used outdoors, so we want you to use those specific, in the specific conditions. Then we have to ensure that at the end of each night you assign somebody in the community to turn off the lights. Don't keep them running all through the night. It's beautiful, it looks lovely, but at some point you assign somebody to take off these lights to ensure that all of the switches are off and so on. There are two things with that. One, there's the conservation element, and secondly, there is the element of safety. So you want to ensure you're safe, first of all, and you want to conserve electricity.
Meanwhile, Police Constable Mark Ellis has also reiterated the need for safety during the season. Speaking at the recently held police exhibition, Constable Ellis advised the persons to invest in smoke alarms and detectors and strongly cautioned against overloading appliances. Constable Ellis said the persons should never cook while they are tired, and he described the act as a fire hazard in the making.
Yes, I know especially at Christmas, the men especially, they tend to go out at 9, maybe the 9 mornings, they come back in, they get hungry, they want to go and cook, they fell asleep and they can cause fire. So I'm asking them to desist from doing that. And also persons tend to plug in more than 5, 6 appliances at one time, and that can cause fire, electrical fire. So I'm asking persons to desist from doing that.
Coordinator of the National Nine Mornings Committee, Michael Peters, says the turnout on the first morning of the festival was very encouraging. Peters says patrons coming out to the event should come ready to be fully involved in the activities. The devotion at this morning's event was delivered by the Mount Sinai Spiritual Baptist Church, while the Sion Hill Euphonium provided musical interlude. At the theatrical presentation was done by Urban Expressions, while the dance group Youth with Purpose performed a recital. This year's Nine Mornings activities are being held under the theme Celebrating a Unique Vincentian Tradition. In related news, going 12 years strong, the Richland Park Nine Mornings Committee lit up their area last night. Coordinator Danroy Ballantyne said he was pleased with the turnout and is inviting patrons to visit their display, which runs until December 24th. Ballantyne said the theme for their Nine Mornings celebrations is Express to Impress, which embodies the Richland Park district, which is filled with talented artists. The Richland Park Nine Mornings Committee coordinator is reminding the public to keep the birth of Jesus Christ at the center of their merriment. The festivities in Richland Park will culminate with a children's party on December 26th, Boxing Day. Here's a taste of the cultural presentations from this morning at Davis Square in Richland Park.
Do you hear what I hear? Yeah, we love to show ourselves for Christmas. We spending eating, drinking dust. We don't care if we broke or bankrupt, even though time's so hard and rough. As long as I have my Lord beside me, it's alright. As long as I have His time to hold, as long as He watches over my soul, as long as I'm under His control, it is alright. Christmas is invincibly sweet. It's sweet, oh, it's sweet, oh. Christmas is invincibly nice. It's nice, oh, it's nice, oh. No other place I'd rather be to celebrate the nativity.
Private home owner Jimmy Samuel is at it again, investing his time, money and other resources into beautifying his home with thousands of Christmas lights. Samuel says every year he partakes in the activity in an effort to heighten the Christmas spirit. Jamisha Wright was at Samuel's Ryland Hill home last evening when he turned on his lights for the first time this season. Here is more.
Oh, this year is beautiful.
Those were the words uttered by homeowner Jimmy Samuel as he expresses his feelings about his lighting production for 2014.
This year is wonderful. This is a good production this year.
Indeed it is. What is the concept this year you're portraying?
Reindeer.
Samuel, who last year placed first in the Vinlek Community Lighting Competition, says he is hoping to secure the top spot for yet another year.
And I'm looking forward for it this year again.
How many times you've captured the first place?
4 times.
And how many years you've been participating?
2006. 2006.
So just about 8 years.
First and second all the time. I think about 3 or 4 times I came first.
Samuel says he would not have been able to bring to life this year's theme without the help of one of his fellow villagers, a young man he refers to as Shanti.
I'm satisfied because we love doing it, because it's for the community and the children and them like it, so that's why I continue doing it.
Samuel is inviting everyone to his Rolling Hill home to view his 2014 lighting production, which he says will be on display until January 6, 2015. Reporting for SVGTV News, I am Jamisha Wright.